Thank God. Right. So, welcome to the football referee with myself, Emmy Hikins, and he calls me bruv.
And myself, Trevor Gear, and he calls me Cuz.
And I'm Femi Madariola, and he calls me Sa Femo.
Right. Beautiful. So, we're going to give you 5 minutes to tell us that you told us so about England. 5 minutes. You told us so about England losing.
Who are you
Who told
talking
us?
to?
Oh,
Who?
Safemo.
Oh, really? Was that
Yeah.
me?
All right, 2 minutes now.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The moment the competition started, you could tell England was out of place.
Right.
Maybe a lot of people say people grow into the competition as the competition progresses, they get better and better and better.
Right.
But the only match that England played that was so good was the one against the Netherlands and maybe Switzerland.
Okay.
But like I've always said, the English league is about the best in the world. It's the best in the world, not about, it's the best in the world.
Right.
And that league has helped a lot of English players
Right.
to get to where they are. The English players are probably the best in the world as well, except for one or two foreign players that played in the English league.
Yeah.
Where am I getting to? That team that day did not play up to standard. I'll be very honest with you.
On the finals, you mean?
Yeah, in the finals. I listened to a bit of analysis from these football pundits, and every player that day were not up to standard. I don't know if that's the way the coach asked them to play. Somebody was saying the coach is there, is not on the field. But at the same time, the coach is not there, the coach is not on the field. If a player is playing certain way, I
Yeah.
believe the coach can say, look, this is what I want you to do. And if you're not doing it, I'm taking you out.
Right.
If you look at it, when the match started, it was as if the English players were taken aback. They wanted the Spanish guys to come towards them.
Yeah.
If you look at players like Kyle Walker in City, when he picks the ball, he's always on the advance, wanting to, attack and attack and attack. Look at Busayo Saka when he's in Arsenal, he's attacking. That day, you didn't see any of the English players attacking. It was
Right.
like they didn't start attacking. They didn't go on the offensive until the Spanish side scored, and they came all out, full
Right.
force. And that was when that equalizer came in. And the moment they equalized, they went back again.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was thinking, because if you look at all other previous matches, is immediately they equalize, they start bombarding the opponent and get a second goal. But against the Spanish team, it wasn't like that. Why? I do not know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just the way they chip and change. You change this player this time, you change. It's only in this competition that I've seen Southgate use the same starting 11 for at least for about 4 of the matches. He's always changing and changing and changing and changing and changing. So those are the things that has led to them losing it.
Right. Okay. Any positive?
The lack of wanting to go forward as well and do something.
Yeah. All right. So just lastly, any positives?
Well, Guy Southgate is gone. Hopefully, I'm saying they should get Guardiola in as the England coach. Guardiola is always known to be a winner and always known to get the best out of players. I think if they get Guardiola, they win it, I believe.
All right, good. Right, so over to you, Trevor.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Femi said there. Um, Overall, I don't think England had a particularly good tournament. We didn't, in my view, we didn't really play in my view, we didn't really play very well at any time. Yes, the first half against the Netherlands was probably our best, but it just seemed somehow that the players were constrained, and whether it comes from the coach, in other words, basically you go out there and not to lose rather than go out there to win, because Femi is right, I think, in saying when we did equalise or go a goal up, we then sat back, which is classic Southgate, I think. I think Southgate's clearly over 8 years, I think it is, has done a lot of good things as the manager of England. He's made it, so they tell us, he's made it a good thing, a pride thing for people to play for England rather than, oh, well, it's just one of those things. In other words, most players really want to play for their country. So that's a good thing. There was a great togetherness about them. And from what we read, the players rate him and think he was a very good manager. And I guess, statistically, he did get to two finals, albeit losing them, and some semi-finals, so that he probably has been one of the most successful managers, bar Alf Ramsey, I think it was, who won the World Cup with them. But overall, I think it was very disappointing. I think most people would take the view that our players were capable of much more than they actually produced. I mean, personally, I was quite shocked about the performances of Harry Kane because, like most of us, I've always rated him as a top-rate goal scorer. He just looked as if he was carrying a horse around with him. He looked completely shattered. And I wonder if part of that is he wasn't played as he normally is. He needs one or two people playing off him, putting crosses over. And he was kind of, running a lone furrow out there. He sometimes came back to try and get involved. I think in the final, in the first half, he only had 12 touches of the ball. But I think the tough decision for Southgate would have been to have dropped him for the final. I was reading one of the Sunday papers, Graham Souness had a page, and he said really that Watkins should come in and start on the final day rather than Kane. But that's obviously a massive decision to drop the captain. The other thing that kind of annoyed me was that probably one of the best midfield players, if not the best we had there, was Cole Palmer. And when he came on, he either scored, he made a goal. He is a fantastic footballer, as I've said before. And I certainly think he deserved a starting place in the team for the final. It is hard for a manager to change it, of course, but sometimes you've got to do what's in the interests of the team. So, yeah, I think it's good to get to the final. My sort of final view on it would be, had we have won, I think it would have been one of the biggest miscarriages of justice we've ever seen, because our style of football right through the tournament was never going to be a style that would win something like the Euros. I think we had a lot of luck on our side, which is no bad thing. You need luck to win something like that. But it would have been a travesty of justice if England had won. So although it was very disappointing, I didn't find myself. I mean, I saw a pal of mine on Monday, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm so fed up, we've lost," and all that. And I said, "Well, yeah, it's disappointing, but I didn't feel that great sense of frustration and annoyance, because to me, we clearly were not in the same league as the Spanish. I think part of it is bad coaching or lack of what we needed, player selection. And finally, I think Southgate said a few times, my team, they lacked energy and things like that. But then again, on the bench, he had a lot of young talent, Eze, Wharton, Palmer, for example, but he really never brought these on early enough to make a difference, apart from when he had to make a substitution. So I think sometimes his tactics were not particularly strong. But I respect the chap, Southgate. I think he's done a good, honest job. He's a thoroughly decent man, quite clearly. And he has given us the thrill of a run in the Euros. And I think he's done the right thing by resigning. You mentioned Guardiola. I actually think I would